Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we are going to talk a bit about the Ryobi BT3000 table saw. If you've been around a while, you know this channel is typically talking about Shopsmith tools. We're going to get around to that today because there actually is a connection between this table saw and Shopsmith. But this is the Ryobi. Some say Ryobi. The folks at Ryobi say Ryobi. So for this video, who knows how it's going to come out of my face hole? Just accept it. But this is a table saw that was introduced in the United States around 1992. Had about a 20-year run. It was sold as the BT3000, and then a few changes made to it. It became the BT3100, and then it was sold under the Craftsman brand with, again, a few mostly cosmetic changes made to it. And they made some products both for Sears under the Craftsman brand as well as Ryobi. You could go at one point into a home center and buy, for example, a variable speed random orbit sander that said Ryobi on it, and then you could go to Sears and find one that looked almost exactly the same, but it was branded Craftsman. You had to look real close because the Craftsman one didn't have variable speed. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we learned to live with. So I owned one of these back in the 1990s. I bought it new, and I really liked it, and I sold it when we moved from Ohio to North Carolina 25 years ago. And it's one of those tools that ever since I've been looking for a replacement. So I just bought this one on Facebook Marketplace. It is missing a few things. Now, how does this tie into Shopsmith? Well, you see, but the first tie-in is when this was patented, the patent references some pre-existing ideas that they kind of borrowed on. One was this table system. The table system was in part inspired by the table system on the Shopsmith prototype of the X6000. We talked about this in a previous video. This is a prototype that eventually spawned what we know today as the Model 510 and eventually the 520. Vastly improved table support, vastly improved guards. By the way, the guard itself is referenced on the Ryobi patents. See, I said Ryobi just for you. As well as the table system. So let's take a look at this, and then I'm really going to tie this into Shopsmith. But look, here's one of my favorite things about this saw. It has a cross-cut sliding table. In fact, it doesn't have a miter slot, so it can't be used with a miter gauge. There have been people that have made accessories to allow them to use a miter gauge or to use a cross-cut jig. But this was intended to be used with this sliding table, which I really like. You can see that built into the face of this, and I'll just lift this off, is a protractor that allows the fence to be angled. Oh gosh, we can go beyond 45 degrees both directions. So you can make your cuts as safely as possible. This obviously lifts off easily, can be used on either side of the main table. And why that was important for this saw is this is a right tilt table saw. I prefer a left tilt table saw. The Shopsmith, because the table tilts, it emulates a left tilt table saw. So I'm used to making my miter cuts over on the right side of the table. And this is the way the Powermatic 66 always was. It's the way the Unisaw eventually adopted with a left tilt. So with a right tilt, I lived with it. I rarely made mitered cuts with the table or with the blade tilted. Again, it can be used on the other side as well. This table right here can be positioned anywhere along these rails. You just simply flip that lever, and then this will lift out. Simply, he said. And it can be slid anywhere along the fence, obviously, anywhere along the fence rails. And I don't know that I've ever done this from that side of the saw. And then the fence can be slid anywhere along those rails. In fact, these rails themselves can be repositioned by flipping a couple little levers underneath here. And it does take a little fiddling, and I haven't quite gotten this one fine-tuned yet, so anything can happen here. But you can slide these rails over as well, reposition the sliding table, add more tables. There's filler tables that you could get. There were rear support tables you could get. They even had a table that you could hook up to your shop vac that you could either blow air up, kind of like an air hockey table, or you could suck down kind of like a vacuum. Now, I had one of those and the thing totally warped. It was not appropriate for the humidity of Ohio. But some people, I'm sure, had great success with it. I did not. So what else does this thing have going for it? Well, that's about it. I mean, it's the biggest problem with it is it has a universal motor. In other words, a motor like a router. And so it's very loud to operate. And unfortunately today, because it's discontinued, we're kind of at the mercy of people who are parting them out on eBay or buying a donor machine somewhere that you can use for parts. Well, there's also 3D printing. Some of the plastic components, folks, are 3D printing, and you can also pick up files on places like Thingiverse to print your own parts, such as the ends of this fence for the crosscut table, which eventually those do get chewed up a little bit by the blade. So my favorite thing about this saw was the ability to mount that crosscut table on it. So that brings us back again to the Shopsmith. I've got my Mark V taken apart right now because I'm doing some stuff with it, but I mounted the main table on here to just show you something we can do with a little bit of thought. There are folks over on the Shopsmith forums who have been doing this and thinking about this for 20 years now. So this is nothing original for me. But the idea of taking this sliding table and mounting it to the Mark V. Now you can see it's not the right height resting on those floating table tubes. And this is the 520 version that has the floating table tubes further down than the 510 model. So to do this, you have to, with this version, you're going to have to make some spacers that will allow to make that level with the table. And you also have to make some accommodation to clamp it to those tubes. Now, some people have been taking this rear extrusion from a floating table from a 520. You can see the front extrusion is much more complex, but with the rear extrusion, they've been taking this, mounting this to the bottom of a plate that acts as a shim, piece of plywood, for example, and then mounting the sliding table directly to that. For the 510, because these tubes are too high up, people have been adapting and using the actual fence rails as well as the fence from the Ryobi BT3000. That is certainly an upgrade from the 510 fence. I would argue it's not as good as a 520 fence, but if you got a 510 and you got one of these machines that you can pick apart, you might end up with a really nice table system. Now, that said, the folks that have done this, some of them have commented how, well, these rails are nice when you need them and they're in the way when you don't, such as when you're in the drill press position. But that's all up for debate, and it all depends upon the kind of work that you do and the sort of space that you have. So it's a weird time right now. Some of you already know that between business travel for trade shows, a loss in the family now descending upon North Carolina to celebrate my dad's 90th birthday, I'm not getting a whole lot of time in the shop. And so this is a weird video. Sorry about that, channel members. I appreciate your patience. But I'm curious what your thoughts and insights are. I'm going to link to a number of videos in the video description. There's the manufacturer made a video that I'll link to at least a couple of those. There are people who've uploaded those here to YouTube. Also, there are some conversations that have been taking place already over at the Shopsmith forums, and I'll link to a few of those, the ones that I think might be spurring some interest in your mind. Apologies to John and Albert, who think that every time I do a video, I'm trying to sell them on a new tool. or apologies to their wives, because I just did. I look forward to your questions, comments, cheap shots, and make it a great week.